Hello, everyone. My name is Carl, and today, unfortunately, I will be talking about little friends, dogs, and cats. So this game was developed by Imagineer and published by Sold Out on May 28th, 2019, exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. If you want to buy a new copy at retail price, it'll run you $49.99. Rated E for everyone, interestingly enough, for no objectionable content whatsoever. So, I'm just going to come up and say it up front. This is a Nintendogs ripoff. Specifically, I assume Nintendogs plus cats. You get a dog, you care for it, you play with it, you take it for walks, etc. It claims it is, quote, the first pet sim for Nintendo Switch. I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, then I guess congrats on cornering the market. Yeah, you can probably tell at this point that I am not enthused about this review at all. I originally obtained this game for my birthday because my father got it an extra gag gift. I think he had a coupon or something, or it was like ridiculously inexpensive at GameStop because obviously no one wanted it, so he picked it up. Um, it was sitting there rotting in my drawer for months and months until for kicks I finally played it on stream. I played it for all of an hour and a half. I know because I went back and I watched that VOD on double speed and skipped through it because I could not for the life of me remember just about anything about this game. So let's just get into the review, shall we? So initially, see this word here? Cats. See this animal here? It's a cat. I wanted a cat because I've played Nintendogs before. I've played a dog simulator. I wanted to see what the cat stuff was like. But tough. You pick a dog. You are given your choice of three dogs at the start, but if you don't want any of those dogs, you can just go and pick from all of them. So I don't even know why they give you like three choices. But you can get, apparently, there are Shibas, Chihuahuas, Toy Poodles, French Bulldogs, Labrador Retrievers, German Shepherds, American Shorthairs, and Scottish Fold, as well as the Japanese cat. I don't know what the difference is, but whatever. So, yeah, starting out, there's like three things I could do. I could use my Joy-Con to brush the dog. I could go for a walk and use the Joy-Con to steer the dog. And I could go to the park and throw a frisbee with the Joy-Con. Brushing the dog is very basic. You just brush them and it raises their friendship. The walking is very slow. It's a very slow walk. For some reason, each walk, your goal is to have your dog pee on X amount of signs, dig up X amount of things, and walk X amount of miles. Like, it's really weird. Every time you stop by a sign, your dog will stop to pee on it. Doesn't matter how many signs we walk by. Um, None of that is very interesting. Like, you're just walking. Like, you don't meet anything interesting. There's no mini games during it. There's no other people to see. There's not even an interesting setting to look at. Like, there was a house that I walked to, and I was like, is that my house? Is that someone else? Can I go in that house? I don't know. Never found out. Yeah. Throwing the frisbee was also very uninteresting. It was mildly frustrating to throw it correctly, and then the dog would get it, and then you'd walk over to the dog, and that was it. Yeah. But the most frustrating thing about the game wasn't actually the gameplay itself. It was the fact that the game told me I could not raise my friendship level with my dog any further that day. And since I didn't see anything about going to sleep in game, I can only assume that means that I have to come back real world tomorrow. Which, mini rant here, I freaking hate it when games do that. Like when they limit the entire game. Like if you want to have like a little side thing, like, oh, send someone out on a mission and they'll be finished in 24 hours. Like that's fine. Whatever. That's cute. But like if your main story, which by the way, this is I was unlocking the ability to buy new things and whatnot by bringing my friendship level up with my dog. So it's holding the story, holding the content hostage behind a time barrier. Which is like, why? It's my game. I want to play it right now. I literally stopped streaming because I was like, I don't think I can raise my friendship with my dog anymore. I don't think I can do anything else. I'm going to stop streaming. And I never picked it up again. Because, you know what? If your game is a mediocre, like this game is, you don't want the people to stop playing. You want them to play as much as possible. You know what? I'm going to come back tomorrow so that I can no, I'm not invested, okay? And I didn't get invested in the hour and a half that I played it. Sorry, I'm not coming back. So that's just stupid. I don't know why they would do that. And the funny thing was, it wasn't even like, oh, your dog's too exhausted to go for a walk. That might actually make sense, but it was your dog can't like you anymore today. Why? Anyway, story. I have no clue if there is or is not a story. There did not seem to be. The closest thing that I got to a story was a letter from my mom and dad, which, funnily enough, had the Paper Mario font for some reason. Yeah, it gave me some money and food for my dog, I think, and that was it. I have no idea if things progress, but I assume no. I'm gonna assume no. Graphics. This game looks like the DS version of Nintendogs, which is really sad, given the DS came out over a decade ago at this point or something. I don't know. This is the Switch. Come on, you're bragging about how it's the first one for the Switch. Utilize it. Relatively obvious blocky polygons on your dogs. Not very good fur physics. Most of the things are just textures. The grass is literally just a picture of grass pasted on the ground, I'm pretty sure. Just lazy crud like that. Music wise, actually the music isn't terrible. It's not grating. I mean, it's quiet, very backgroundy instrumental stuff, so mildly pleasant, but the fact that when you're going on a walk and it's such a short loop and it just goes over and over and over again, it gets really old and forgettable really fast, and it's not doing the game any favors. DLC wise, no DLC as far as I know. So yeah, in conclusion. So overall, I mean, I'm usually loath to review games that I didn't finish because I like to give games a fair shake. I don't think there's a lot of value generally in trying to assume you know everything about a game, and reviewing the game as a whole when you don't play the game as a whole. So I guess take this review of the game grain of salt. But there's a couple reasons why I I reviewed this despite not having a lot of experience. One, I've played my fair share of pets games. I can tell with how this is set up that there's a very, very low chance that it's gonna improve. I mean, if the cat mechanics, if the cat gameplay is on point, or if it as soon as you get a second dog, things go crazy or whatever, and the gameplay becomes much more deep, please let me know in the comments down below. But chances are this is all you're gonna get the entire time, right? So and the second reason I just reviewing it is because I want to get it off my plate. I do not want this to skip over this and look at it and be like, well, I gotta review that sometime. I do not want this to be the last game ever I review because I have to go back and play it. So I'm reviewing it now. I'm giving my 2 cents. Whatever. So this game's iffy at best, right? It's a 4, okay? It's not absolute garbage. It still plays like it's supposed to, but it's just so basic, so boring. Nothing that hasn't been done better every way a million times before. And just the fact that it says your dog can't raise friendship with you anymore today is just so stupid. If you put a gun to my head and said, "Hey, I bought this game," or "Who should I buy it for?" Maybe it'd be fine if you bought it for a child, a child that will be satisfied by waving a Joy-Con around to pet the dog all day. But other than that, just like, I don't know, get any other game, pretty much. But yeah, overall, let me know in the comments below if I'm being too hard on this game. If you've played it and you want, like, if you played the whole thing and you've like seen through all the content, I absolutely want to hear what it's like. Like, let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, like, yeah, have a good day, everybody. Bye.